So y'all lack self-control.
Oh no, I have self control.
Well, what it was based on what I was hearing specifically was this man. He based on him, my self-control was there. The next man, my self-control was lacking. So what I'm
No,
saying
it
is
was.
you were
Oh,
being
sorry.
steered. You were being steered by him. That which means you lack control of
Yeah,
yourself.
it's not. When I was like, when I wanted it really bad and I couldn't get that from that person, you really be like, damn, if you don't change, the fuck, you just gonna be out here.
Yeah, 100%. Now, what's up with the mouthy part though? Like, how y'all get to the point where you just like it really interests me. Like, you just talking to nigga like, nigga, fuck out of here.
So
The
I
fuck or
don't, I
whatever
don't,
y'all be saying. Like, that shit crazy.
I don't think it'd be that. I don't think it'd be
Go
that.
ahead. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna let Saul tell it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be that. I think it'd be um just from my experience when I really was with like a man, like I would say is like a man, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen, unfortunately. But when I was with a man that brought out some the worst in me, um, and I seen that, and I seen like the flaw in him, like he could have seen the flaw in me. It was just like I I had to separate because it was like, nigga, I don't respect you at this point. And if I don't respect you, it's no point of me being with you. So it don't be like it's just mouthy and we just gonna keep on being mouthy to each other. Like, no. Like once I get to the point where like I gotta get there, it's like it ain't no need to continue.
I think it comes from a woman's upbringing. I think it's learned behavior that has never been and men that they have run across have allowed it. Um so that they think that it's okay. Well, they know that it's not okay. I don't want to say that they think that it's okay because you know that it's not okay, but it's definitely I definitely feel like it's learned behavior for sure. When
Learned
you're
behavior.
disrespecting a man and you feel like you can step to a man and put your hands on a man and I think that is something that women do because they've been allowed to do it for sure.
Yeah, I do agree to that to a certain extent.
So
Um
you have no self-control. Here's a
you
question.
said what?
So y'all lack self-control.
Oh no. I have self control.
Well, what it was based on what I was hearing specifically was this man, he based on him, my self-control was there. The next man, my self-control was lacking. So what I'm
No,
saying
it
is
was
you were being
oh sorry.
steered, you were being steered by him. That which means you lack control of
Yeah.
yourself.
It's not even I mean, if that's what you want to say technically, then you can say that. But for me, I don't feel like it's a lack of self control. I don't go around disrespecting men just off of
No.
like
No, I
that's
wasn't saying
like
that.
that's not in my character. But I do feel like unfortunately some people do bring out the worst in you. And sometimes the worst in you are your worst traits or something that you do, you know,
That's what Basad, think about what I'm saying, right?
mm,
If a person allegedly brought out the worst in you, they controlled you. If
I mean,
another person brought out the best in you, they controlled you. So you lack self-regulation. Somebody else had to regulate you.
I don't think it's a lack of self regulation because it doesn't. I can see if it was like every person get these different pieces of you, but if it was like a one particular experience,
Two,
then no, it wasn't a lack
two,
of self.
two,
Who was
So
it?
two. Right? You said the two men that you were intimate with. You see, that's when we really start to tell. Familiarity breeds contempt. People can't keep up a facade for so long, especially in an intimate relationships. Upon first meeting somebody, you can keep a facade. They don't matter to you, so their word doesn't have an impact. Right?
And
Even
as
like,
of
hold on. Even like if I say something in a Discord on a panel to you guys directly, the impact is different than if somebody else is saying it. right? So I'm saying, do we have to be honest and say, bam, if I'm with him, I'm with him. That man is controlling my disposition. Go ahead, Sal. I'm done.
Yeah, I don't agree. I feel like the person can bring out the worst in you, and whether if you want to say it's a lack of self control, we could use that, but that's just my opinion.
Well, I'm not
I
using.
feel
Hold on, Nate. I'm not using it to like make. I'm saying based on what I'm hearing, right? You're not self regulated, right? You literally like a gigapet. If he don't feed you, it's lit, and then the
And what I'm
gigapet
saying
dies.
is, I understand what you're saying, and I disagree. So the conclusion that you're coming to, I can see why you're saying that, but I'm also saying that I don't agree with it, and that it could be some people bring out the worst in you. Because if it's just one person that this was your, like you, it was really the lowest version of you, and everybody else can't say that they experienced that from you. We can't say that you was a giggy pack and it was you was turned on with this one, turned off with that one. I'm saying some people will bring out the worst in you to a point where you do have to self-reflect, and maybe you do have to self-regulate a little bit more. But I don't think it always is like that. That's what I'm saying. So I can agree, but that's just still my other caveat.
What are you saying? You're saying that because everybody can't trigger you, that means that just that to substantiate you being self-regulated?
I agree with you.
No. This is very important. It's a good combo. It's not even so much about you, because I've heard a similar answer previously, right? It's always about what somebody did to us, you know? But don't I control what triggers me? I heard this one lady say this. You only carry
you're
it.
supposed to.
You only carry it if you care, right? Isn't that you ever heard that before?
Yep.
And see, the reason why the intimate relationship side is so important to really figure out who we are is because that's the person that we care about. Right? So random people, like whatever, my nigga, gives a fuck. You know, that's what I'm analyzing. You know.
Yep.
Go ahead, Nick.
I think
go
make
ahead.
it so black and white when it's not like that. So I understand your concept and your train of thought. But yeah, I still don't, it doesn't resonate with me, because I just still feel like at the end of the day, regardless of how phenomenal of a person that you are, it does not mean that you're not going to run into someone that may knock you off your square. And it's just plain and simple. We all have someone that is our kryptonite. We all have kryptonites in our lives, and that's just the reality of it. So I agree with what you're saying, Ham. I don't know.
Yeah, that's that. Y'all basically saying the same thing. So like,
Nay, we're not saying the same thing.
let me elaborate. Right.
Okay.
I can understand what Saul saying. I can understand what you're saying. Right.
Okay.
When Saul say a person can bring out the worst in you, it goes along with what you're saying, right? The person that can bring out the worst in you is the one that got your emotions, the person that you care about, the person that you thought was better than that particular moment that made you fall off your pivot. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm looking at you a certain way and you act a certain way in a moment, and then I got to like show you a side of me that I never intended on showing you, now I got to look at you a different way. Now I feel a way. So now I'm like, yeah, you at this point, yeah, you controlling my emotions because you actually. So yeah, there's no self-control in that. They control you because they have your emotions. Like, you care about them, you love that person.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, there's no self-regulating with that. Not when it comes to the person that you want to be with.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what makes it difficult, right? That person seems to have control over us, right?
Yep.
They're able to make us do the darndest things, right, that you would never expect. It's
Exactly.
because we're allowing them to regulate how we are and how we show up in the earth, right? And I just think that it's good to say that and deal with it in that way, as opposed to depending on somebody to treat you a certain way so you don't behave a certain way. You see? Because now you have an outside dependency, You know, it's almost like codependency, which is not good.